Ladies and gentlemen, let me share a truth with you today. Success isn't something you announce, it's something you build. In a world where noise is everywhere, on social media, in offices, and even within our families, there is incredible power in silence. Working hard in silence is like planting seeds in a garden. It may seem quiet at first, but one day the results will bloom so brightly that no one can ignore them. You don't need to tell the world how hard you're working. You need to show them the results. Let your work be the noise that breaks the silence. Today, I want to take you on a journey to understand why working hard in silence can transform your life, your career, and your legacy. Why silence is your secret weapon. Silence is not weakness. Silence is your strength. When you work quietly, there are no distractions, no comparisons, and no expectations. You are free to focus solely on your goals. The moment you free yourself from the noise of the world, the opinions, the doubts, the endless chatter, you gain the ability to truly hear yourself. And that's where the real work begins. Imagine the great artist who spends months painting a masterpiece. They don't post a picture of the unfinished canvas. They don't seek applause for work halfway done. They sit in the solitude of their studio, paintbrush in hand, working quietly, patiently, and persistently. With each stroke of the brush, they bring their vision to life, and then one day, they unveil a creation so magnificent that the whole world stops and stares. You see, silence allows you to build a foundation without interruption. It gives you the space to make mistakes, learn, and grow without the pressure of being watched. When no one is looking, you can experiment, fail, and try again, not because someone else is expecting it, but because you are committed to it. Silence gives you the freedom to focus on progress, not perfection. And when you work in this way, the results become undeniable. Let me give you an example from history, a story that teaches us the power of relentless, silent effort. Thomas Edison, the man who invented the light bulb, did not spend his time bragging about his ideas. He didn't share his struggles every day or post updates on how close he was to success. Instead, he locked himself away in his workshop and worked tirelessly, failing over 1,000 times before he finally succeeded. Think about that, 1,000 failures. How many people would have stopped after 10, after 50? Edison understood something most people don't. Failure is not defeat, it's part of the process. Every attempt brought him closer to his goal, and he welcomed each setback as a lesson, a stepping stone. But here's the most remarkable part. When Edison finally succeeded, he didn't need to say a word. The light bulb itself became his voice. His achievement spoke so loudly that the entire world was illuminated, literally and figuratively. That's the power of working quietly. Success has a way of making its own noise. It doesn't need advertisements or explanations. It simply shines, and everyone notices. Too often, we feel the need to talk about our goals before we achieve them. We share our plans with friends, coworkers, even strangers, looking for validation or encouragement. But let me ask you something. What happens when you talk too much about your dreams? Two things. First, you set yourself up for pressure. The moment you say, "I'm going to do this," people start watching. They start expecting. Suddenly, your journey becomes less about progress and more about proving yourself to others. And when you stumble, as we all do, those expectations can feel like a heavy weight on your shoulders. The second thing that happens is even more dangerous. You invite opinions. Let me tell you something about opinions. They are free and endless. Everyone has something to say. Some people will doubt you, some will criticize you. Others will project their own fears and limitations onto your vision. Are you sure that's a good idea? What if you fail? I heard someone tried that and it didn't work. Words like these have a way of getting under your skin. Even the most confident among us can begin to question ourselves when we hear enough negativity. But when you choose silence, you protect yourself. You keep control. You build your dream in private, away from the noise. You give yourself the space to stay focused, determined, and resilient. And when you finally achieve what you set out to do, no one can take that away from you. Become so strong, so tall, so magnificent that everyone stops to admire it. But the growth, the real work, happened in silence, unseen by the world. The same is true for you. Your growth doesn't need to be broadcast. Your effort doesn't need applause. The validation you're seeking is already inside you. So stop waiting for the world to approve of your dreams. Stop looking for permission to take action. Stop chasing likes and compliments because they will never be enough. Instead, focus on the work. Focus on getting better. Focus on the quiet, unseen moments when no one is watching. Because that's where success is built. And here's the beautiful part. When you learn to work without seeking validation, you free yourself. You stop caring about what other people think. You stop worrying about their opinions. And you start moving forward with confidence, knowing that your effort is what matters most. You start to realize that success isn't about impressing others. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. So I challenge you. Work hard in silence. Let go of the need for approval. Believe in your vision even if no one else does. Trust the process even when it's hard. Keep going even when no one is cheering. Because if you do that, if you stay committed, focused, and consistent, there will come a day when your results speak for themselves. And on that day, you won't need anyone's applause because you'll know that you earned it. You'll know that the quiet work you did in the shadows built something extraordinary. And that, my friends, is a success worth chasing. Let's talk about consistency. The most successful people don't work hard for a day, a week, or a month. They work hard every single day. Consistency is boring, yes, but it's powerful. It's like water dripping on a stone. At first, it seems like nothing is happening. But over time, the stone begins to crack. Not because of noise, but because of consistent, silent effort. Think about a professional athlete training for the Olympics. They wake up at dawn, push their bodies to the limit, eat meals designed for performance, and sacrifice their personal time. Day after day, they repeat this process. They don't post every training session online. They don't shout about their routine. Instead, they focus on the work. The world only sees them once every 4 years, standing on the podium, holding the gold medal, and calling them talented. But that medal wasn't earned in the spotlight. It was earned in the early mornings, the late nights, and the moments of quiet sacrifice when no one else was around to cheer for them. This is what consistency looks like, doing the right thing over and over again, no matter how monotonous it feels. Success doesn't come from one big, loud, dramatic action. It comes from 1,000 small, disciplined actions, repeated day in and day out. Most people give up because they don't see results fast enough. They want instant gratification. They want to plant a seed today and eat the fruit tomorrow. But life doesn't work that way. A farmer plants a seed, waters it every day, nurtures it, and waits patiently for months before the harvest comes. Imagine if the farmer gave up halfway. The crops would never grow. The same principle applies to you. If you want to build something meaningful, you need to embrace the quiet, patient work of consistency. You need to show up every day, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it, even when no one is watching. And when you do, something incredible begins to happen. You start to build momentum. At first, progress feels slow, almost invisible. But as you keep showing up, your small efforts compound, like a snowball rolling down a hill. Consistency turns your small actions into unstoppable progress.